One Piece.
One.
Ooh, One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1062 Adventure in the Land of Science. There's an interesting little cover page here as we have been tracking the movements of Germa 66 since the Whole Cake Island. They recently escaped with Niji and Yanji and Caesar Clown. So, they're going to be doing stuff, I guess. But this cover page is nothing but the entire town of, island of Cacao Island in Big Mom's island, Whole Cake Island, completely frozen, it seems. And you know what that means. Aokiji's around somewhere, I think. Which is very fascinating.
Which means Blackbeard's around somewhere.
Well, Blackbeard was just with Amazon Lily, so maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, yeah, probably not.
Probably not. But it is interesting nonetheless. But last we left off with One Piece, it has been 2 weeks since we had it, so it's back. The Straw Hat crew has come into contact with Vegapunk, it seems, and this Vegapunk seemed to be a young woman in this giant robot mech, and has emerged. Luffy, along with Jewelry, Bonnie, Chopper, and Jinbei, have separated from the crew, being blown away by an eddy. So they have landed on Egghead, the island of Egghead itself, which is the headquarters of Dr. Vegapunk. But the remainder of the Straw Hats are still on the Sunny and have been rescued by this Vegapunk person. And, everybody's getting little reactions. Pretty much most of the crew is excited to see a Frankie taking direct influence from Vegapunk in his upgrades since the time skip and all his work with the Sunny is, always like, oh, shit, I'm a big fan. I respect your work. And, Sanji is simping as usual. Usopp is like kind of like is still like freaking out about the giant robot. Robin, I guess, states what we all thought at first, was just like, wait, I never heard that Vegapunk was a woman, and based on her appearance, it doesn't make sense. Why is she so young? Like, Vegapunk should be old since he has a long history.
Mad old.
Yeah. And I might say, Robin, it's very sexist of you. Vegapunk can be a woman. But no, she's not. She's not the real Vegapunk in one sense. The Vegapunk responds that, of course, she's not the Stella, which is the main body. She introduces herself as Punk 02, Vegapunk Lilith, the evil. And and she's talking about how her research budgets are constantly stretched to the seams. So she's basically trying to rob the Straw Hats right now. And
she calls them filthy pirates and she's robbing them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She's literally plundering.
Yeah. And Nami's just like, wait, if you're just going to scoop us up out of the sea, I mean, follow through and save us. And she's like, I did not come to save you. I came to rob you. And turns out she summons some backup here. There are the
the reindeer.
Yeah, we see the sea
giraffe.
Sea beast weapons emerge from the water. And they're like, yo, sea beast weapons, they're incredible. And Usopp is now not as enthused to see this, obviously. So as this is continuing on, Lilith gets a call on her weird antenna thing, and is basically chastising her for plundering again. It's like, have you no pride as a scientist? And there's Lilith is just like, they're gonna surrender anyway. I got my sea beasts here. They got nothing going on. And it is funny. Whoever's on the other line at this point is basically like, you've underestimated them. That's Pirate Hunter Zoro worth 1.1 billion berries. And the reason that he's calmly hanging back is that he knows he can slaughter you from that range.
Slaughter.
And
you are within range.
Yeah, and the same goes for Demon Child behind him, Nico Robin. Yeah. So
is that her alter ego?
Yeah, no, that's her nickname in the Warner poster.
That's what I mean. Like Cat Burglar.
Yeah, like Cat Burglar, Pirate Hunter. She's Demon Child.
Pretty dope. Pretty
Pretty cool.
edge.
Quite edge. I'm trying to find.
Wait.
But anyway, and she notes that like, well, Frankie and Sanji aren't really stressed out either, so they're not worried about you. And Zoro pipes up and he's just like, "Hey Vegapunk, we've got some demands and you're gonna listen." Got that?
Yo, shit got real fun in a
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. Unfortunately for her. But then we get a little view of Punk 01, who is Dr. Vegapunk Shaka the Good. And he mentions that he tells Lilith to bring them, assumingly to Egghead, and explains that he might have an interest in that crew. So we cut over to Luffy's squad, who have ventured into Egghead itself. They seem to be going down into like the underground of the island, and basically, Luffy's like mentioning is like, "Whoa." Asking Bonnie like, "Whoa, you said you've been here before?" And Bonnie's like, "Yeah, when I was a kid." And explains that like depending on his answer, Vegapunk will have to die for his crimes, because apparently Vegapunk turned her father into a cyborg, and her father turns out to be Bartholomew Kuma.
Didn't see that coming.
I knew they were connected in some way, but I didn't think they were father and daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's obviously pissed about that because she doesn't know why, whether it was his choice or not. So yeah.
Wait, why isn't she religious then?
What do you mean? We don't know that she's not.
Isn't she? Where's her Bible? She doesn't carry it with her.
Well, she's in her rebellious phase where she's not carrying.
Yeah, why do you think she got caught in that eddy?
Because
she rebuked her own God.
That's true. He will
let that be a lesson.
Don't you rebuke your gods.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. So yeah, they travel deeper into the island until they end up in this big old room where there's just like these buildings everywhere, and there's a giant robot and a weird space monster battling it out in the background. Random. And Luffy immediately just launches himself toward the weird monster. And it seems to eat him, but it turns out Luffy is only just passed straight through it, and not like, in a way where he's hit a flesh and blood creature. He's just seemed to phase completely through it. They notice this giant parfait just lying around after that, and they lunge toward it. They go through that as well, and it turns out that this place is full of fucking holograms. The monster, the giant robot, they're both holograms. And Jinbei takes note that even though this is technically a winter island, it's very warm in there. And this weird giant lady pulls up. It looks like Astro Boy almost, like got big Astro Boy vibes. And she's like, actually, yeah, I mean, this is a tropical place, although it is indeed a winter island. That's thanks to the island AC I created. We can control the temperature of the island itself. I'm like, damn, pretty cool.
That's pretty lit.
Pretty cool. I mean, can we use that? Luffy immediately tries to punch this giant robot thing, but she smacks the shit out of him, sending him flying, and it hits this machine, and it spits out like basically a Big Mac meal, and they're pretty stoked about that. This Vegapunk explains that it's an automated cooking machine, and she's like, as long as there's enough food material, I can provide at least 500 different meals to the user in under a minute. So I guess Vegapunk is basically solved world hunger in a way. Where he's like, what? But people won't invest in it really. Like they won't replicate it essentially, and it's just.
Oh, she's trying to rob pirates.
I don't know if she's trying to rob pirates, because all of these.
Well, the other Vegapunk.
Yeah, the other Vegapunk, but yeah, is like, if only that if we spend a little money, we could control the weather. The world doesn't have enough tech or funding, and she punched the hologram. And it turns out she can punch the hologram because she has these cool hologram punching gloves that allow her to punch holograms. So
Pretty cool.
Jinbei asks, as he's also eating this food, he's also like, "Who are you then?" And this Vegapunk introduces herself as Dr. Vegapunk Atlas. And this is Punk. I want to say that this is a little typo on because in a later page, this particular Vegapunk is listed as 5, but on the drawing here it says 6. There's another drawing that lists Atlas
Oh,
as
you're
the fifth
right.
one. It might be a little mistake. No big deal. Continuity error happens.
Yeah, York is probably supposed to be 5.
Yeah. But in any case, yeah, this is Atlas, and Bonnie recognizes that this is totally not Vegapunk as she knows her. And yeah, we cut over to somewhere in the New World. There's a world government ship that is carrying Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy, who is another CP0 agent that was on Dressrosa, I believe. She was somewhere. I could be wrong about that. I remember seeing Stussy around. But anyway, they're talking. Conveniently, Kaku is explaining the deal with the Vegapunks, and there are a total of 6 of these little robot cyborg things walking around, and they act all as Vegapunk in one way or another. There is a main body controlling all 6 of these different Vegapunks. So that's interesting, at the very least. We've met 2 so far, and we revealed that the reason that we see these guys in the first place is that they're actually on their way to Egghead, and they seem to have a Kuma Seraphim behind them.
Yeah.
And they're explaining that they're going to return the Kuma Seraphim over to Egghead and also eliminate all of the fucking Vegapunks there. Yeesh. Lucci is just confused as to why. He's like, they want us to eliminate the most useful man in the world? What does this does this have something to do with what happened in Lulucia the other day? And yeah, I think that's kind of maybe hinting at something more for Lucci in this particular arc outside of being kind of an antagonist in a sense. But yeah, that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about chapter 1062?
So, lots of stuff to think about from this chapter alone. But I didn't realize that that was a Seraphim version of Kuma until I looked at it on the page as you were talking. Even right before you got to mentioning it, I had skipped forward to the page to look for Pinocchio's name, which is Kaku. But yeah, it's a Seraphim version of Kuma, because they have the actual Kuma back in the Revolutionary Island. So, wow, very interesting. And they called him a brat, so he is a child.
Yeah, this is baby Kuma.
I wonder if it has enough strength to defeat all of Dr. Vegapunk's inventions. I mean, this guy's. I mean, did you see them robot fish?
Yeah.
What about Atlas? She can punch things that don't even exist.
Yeah.
Pretty intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. There was something about this chat that stuck out to me, though. I think I need to go back a little bit further. Oh, so I guess a small thing. I'm not gonna say I was right or anything, but I noticed all of these different Vegapunks have an antenna on the the side of their head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've noticed. With Punk 2, with Shaka, and with Atlas at the end. They all have a line coming out from the side of their head.
Yep.
But I bet there's still an actual, real Vegapunk.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I wanted to bet all my buckaroos on it. And I say that because that's not real currency.
Yeah, well, Lilith explains that there is a Stella that the main body they refer to as the Stella. So the real Vegapunk is somewhere, just probably hooked up to some machine controlling all of them at once.
What is the Stella reference?
I don't
What is
know.
that even? What is the Stella?
I don't know. I,
Is that
the Stella is what they call the main body, but
what they do? But is that like a commonplace
I
term,
have
or
no
did you
idea.
learn that from this chapter?
I learned that from this chapter. She says
Oh,
the
okay,
Stella.
okay.
She says that
No,
she's
I
not
know.
the
I
Stella.
just I wasn't really. Yeah, you're right. They did say that. I just wasn't sure if they meant there was an actual real flesh body,
Yeah.
but there was like a boss consciousness in
Mm-hmm.
one of their bodies,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, I'm excited. I didn't think about Lucci possibly having some type of dissent towards the world government. I mean, he moved up in the ranks after getting his ass beat, so I don't know. I don't see him turning tail. Um, Kaku is mad strong.
Yeah. Of
You
course.
know that, right?
Yeah, because he's a
Like
giraffe.
without a doubt. Wait, isn't that the zebra guy?
Giraffe.
Did,
Kaku's
that
the
is the giraffe guy, right?
yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot. I knew there was something weird about his nose. And
Yeah. Did you forget?
giraffes don't have those kind of nose. He just has that nose just
No. Yeah. That was
because.
before. That was before he ate his fruit. He had that nose.
He always.
He was born with that nose.
Oh man, where's Kumadori?
I know. They're all the rest of the CP9 members are not there. It's just them. We don't know what happened to the other CP9 members.
Is Lucy the soap fruit
No,
lady?
Stussy is not the soap fruit lady.
Okay.
That's Khalifa. Bro, she was pretty
Don't
strong.
need any more of that.
Hey, Kaku and Khalifa both got their powers on the same day they fought the Straw Hats. They're probably way stronger now.
Oh, true. Wow, that's one of the rare times they give villains a caveat.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been stronger if.
Yeah. I mean, I
Well,
guess
anyway.
there's a reason that Kaku is the only other one from that group that moved up, probably.
Yeah, he did fight against Zoro, so he's like technically the second hand man. And yeah, they're gonna. I wonder if they're gonna run into the Straw Hats while they're there at the
Oh,
island.
yeah.
I
I
have
know
a
they
feeling
will.
they're gonna miss them.
You think?
Hmm.
That'd be interesting. If they missed them completely. I think. I mean, they're certainly being built up as protagonists because they're aiming for Vegapunk, and Luffy and the gang are familiarizing themselves with them. Uh, but I don't know.
I think they're gonna learn of stuff, maybe upgrade their ship or do something with technology or learn some type of information, and then they're gonna head out, and then they're gonna arrive after the fact, and we're gonna be, it's gonna kind of be up in the air. So of what actually happened to Vegapunk?
Yeah, I can't
Did he
imagine they won't.
survive?
I can't imagine they won't be there for a while because Vegapunk is harbors a lot of information about lore. He knows a lot of, like he knows. Apparently, he knows the true nature behind behind devil fruits. I feel like we'll get an
Oh,
explanation about that. He knows a whole ton, and I think there's something to be said about Vegapunk being of interest to them to protect in some way or form. Uh, I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised
that's
at
fair.
least. Yeah, he's yeah, but I guess are those all your thoughts or?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I suppose I'll get into mine. I really like this chapter. I feel like it was kind of, where we're in One Piece in this phase where they just get to the island and we're familiarizing ourselves with the surroundings, essentially. There's just a lot of things that'll be built up for, I think, later down in the arc. I'm not sure how long this arc was going to last, and I actually don't know what to expect from this arc as a whole. I think it's it's definitely not what we expected. We thought we'd be in Elbath by now, but um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is going to be an important arc in terms of lore more than any action or any kind of stuff like that. So
Mm.
I think that'll be interesting in general. And honestly, that's what I've been looking for. Is you know, nobody does a lore dump like Oda, so I'm very excited for what's to come here. But yeah, the stuff with Lucci and the other guys, I never saw, I didn't see coming either. mostly because these guys are kind of like, looming henchmen level. But it's good to see Lucci come back and seemingly be kind of like a big old antagonist in this one. He's certainly got beef with Luffy. There's certainly a round two to be had in some sense. So I'm excited in that form. Excited to meet the other Vegapunks, all that stuff. I don't really have much else to say about this. I'm just interested to see where this is going and meeting the other Vegapunks and how they all like contribute to the story overall. Because they seem to, although be the same person, have wills and personalities of their own. I'm thinking.
Hey, did you notice the names?
Lilith, Atlas, Shaka. Are they gods?
Nah, but look at the names. But look at what they have terms over them, like evil,
yeah, the
good, thinker,
violence, Atlas,
greed. The two I'm most curious about is greed and the thinker.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Atlas is supposed, like, that little inconsistency there. I think Atlas is supposed to be, because if she's supposed to be 6, then I think like it's.
You think she's greed?
Yeah, because she talks about funding and getting all the money and like, I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I don't think she's well, she can be violence, I guess.
She did just punch that robot because she was upset.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she did, and she also punched Luffy immediately, pretty much. So maybe she is the violence. But yeah, I mean, hey, wisdom and thinker, those run along the same lines. I wonder what makes them different.
What does Shaka mean?
Shaka is good. Lilith is evil.
Oh, duh.
Good, evil, thinker, wisdom, violence, and greed. It's interesting.
Right, wisdom and thinker. Wisdom could be someone that collects knowledge.
For sure. I just think
thinker is maybe someone more creative, like inventive.
Yeah, but they all invent.
Like wisdom's more of like a chronicler, like a historian or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a teacher.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I would say that like all of these guys are responsible for the different inventions in One Piece. Like I would think that maybe violence is the person who created, say, the Seraphim,
say it,
obviously. Yep. The Seraphim, the machines that transform devil fruit, like weapons into devil fruits, stuff like that.
Which one in particular?
Which one do you want? You got fucking
both of them.
Yeah, the 2 of them that we've met so far. There's 2.
Elephant sword.
Yeah, elephant sword and dog gun.
Dog gun.
Mm-hmm. Dashend gun, to be specific. That's all the ones we met.
Gun ate the dog fruit. Whoa.
Yeah, a gun ate the dog fruit and a sword ate the elephant fruit.
That still gets me stuck every time.
Yeah, I
they
think
have to talk more about that.
Yeah, I don't think he literally made these items eat a fruit. I think he maybe made a machine that extracted the power of the devil fruit and implanted it into these weapons. Because he does know that he does claim to know the true nature behind the devil fruits. And there is
something Blackbeard knows as well.
Yeah, and there is something like Toki said, like Odin's wife, who was like who time traveled from 800 years in the past. She specifically noted that she has time abilities, and not necessarily that it came from a fruit. Like the people of Wano call their fruit powers like jutsu of some sort, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think they have a different understanding, or maybe these powers were acquired in a different way a long time ago. So I'm interested to see all that go on. We have a lot of questions that need to be answered, obviously. But it does feel good that it doesn't feel like a mad dash towards the end as well. You know what I mean? Like we're not sprinting towards the end here. Oda's still like taking his time for the most part. Oh, one thing I didn't want to note is that although I did say that, I feel like there was a lot of like cluttering of panels and stuff, and Oda's artwork has become very, very busy ever since the time skip, which understandable.
Oh yeah.
Understandable, I guess. One Piece is a very voluminous story. So I would imagine he needs to get a lot more information in a less amount of time if he wants to finish it before he grows old.
Right before the arthritis overcomes
Yeah.
all his entire limbs.
Oh yeah.